It is possible that those who are steadfastly against gays serving in the military have never heard of the Sacred Band of Thebes. The Sacred Band of Thebes was an elite fighting unit in ancient Greece, made up entirely of pairs of male lovers, the logic being that a man would fight more keenly if supported by or defending his lover in battle. By all accounts, this logic held true. They became one of the most feared and respected units in the Greek army, even defeating the Spartans at one point. A monument was built to them near Athens, which still stands today. Perhaps it's also a monument to the fact that gays in the military has been proven to work. But it's also a monument to the fact that there was a time and place where homosexuality was not just tolerated, but treated for what it is, just another facet of human nature. In pagan Europe and some other cultures throughout history, homosexuality was not to be feared or hated or abominated. It was part of life. So when we look around us today and see societies riddled with homophobia, we have to ask, what happened? Ah, yes, I remember. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam happened. It was supposed to be the devil who first made us ashamed of our nakedness, but it was the Jewish God who took that embarrassment to a whole new level by codifying laws against human sexual behavior. And if you look at it from a fanciful perspective, that is, the Bible, then God's fascination with what we do with our bits is mystifying. As far as sex goes, God is, of course, utterly inexperienced. He is, after all, not created, and it's no surprise that he didn't even think of giving Adam a mate until Adam complained of being bored and lonely. And let's not forget that God's first response to this was to give him a load of animals to be his friends. But anyway, nobody's going to get very far if their argument is based on the book of Genesis. Science is drawing near to confirming the inevitable conclusion that homosexuals are born and not made. It's not a choice, and it's certainly not a sin. It's a natural facet of humanity. The Catholic Church's intensely patronizing motif, hate the sin, love the sinner, represents the more odious side of religious faith, that of deep and suffocating arrogance. An arrogance which dictates that the attitudes of Bedouins thousands of years ago is as correct and true a representation of all humanity as you can possibly get. Well, it isn't. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, it's your archaic views which are the abomination. In the year 2000, the Pope finally apologized for the Catholic Church's centuries and centuries of violence and hatred towards Jews, women, heretics, and ethnic groups, as well as its blinding trust in power and wealth, policies and behavior which have resulted in the most monstrous atrocities perpetrated by mankind. He didn't apologize to homosexuals, though, but then neither have the representatives of Judaism or Islam. Maybe in 1,000 years' time, the chief rabbi, Ayatollah, and all the imams of Islam will join the Pope in apologizing to the world for their millennia of unfounded, hateful, and vicious homophobia. Well, I wouldn't hold your breath, though.